Namaskaram. Today is the 10th October, 10/10/2024, 8th day of Navratri. So happy Navratri. Today is the Durga'Ashthami. So we will be blessed to take up the planet Rahu with a prayer to him. And this is so coincidental that today is Durga'Ashthami and we are going to talk about Rahu. Rahu Kal Puja is done for Durga Devi because she is also an aggressive goddess and Rahu is also an aggressive planet. Both are aggressive by nature and they complement each other. Rahu Kal Puja is usually done on Tuesdays for Durga, goddess Durga. Alright, with this let us start a prayer for Rahu. अर्धकायं महावीर्यं चन्द्रादित्यविमर्दनं सिंहिकागर्भसम्भूतं तं राहुं प्रणमाम्यहं, which means the one with half body, full of valor, signifying the dominance, aggression, the one who obstructs and opposes the sun and the moon, the luminaries, who is born as the son of Simhika, the sister of Hiranyakashipa. I prostrate before you, O Lord Rahu. Bless us all with your power for our success and well-being. Now, let us see what we have for Rahu today. I have prepared an exhaustive material for Rahu. It's a very interesting planet. I've read many books about him and the two shadowy planets, and still the hunger, the thirst for it is never ending. I wish I could know more about these shadowy planets because these are supposed to be malefics, rank malefic planets. And I want to see the other side of these malefic planets. There is as I understand, if there is somebody, the sun is a disciplinarian, Saturn is a hard taskmaster, Mars is an aggressive warrior, army commander. He fights. See, if they are not there in somebody's life, or they don't somehow push that person, they won't achieve big heights. They don't achieve success. They don't achieve fame. It is because of these forces that takes people to the top position. That is what I wish to understand and how to interpret and bring out the best in those planets, and to make the life of a person better, not full of fear. Oh my God, Saturn, Sadisati, Rahu, Ketu, all these planets, 9 Navagrahas, have to be somewhere in the horoscope birth chart. There is no escape from that. That is destiny, that is karma, whatever we call it, past life karma, or whatever it is. We have to grapple with it and learn to live with what they have to offer and what we have to learn from what they want us to. It is like settling accounts from the past life. So we learn, we adjust, we compromise, and make our lives better. Not to fear all the time. That fear in the mind is, the one which, makes us very weak in body and mind. So we have to be very cautious about these things. I want to learn the best each planet can offer in a chart. Alright. Based on Hindu mythological literature which is available, i- there has always been mention of uh, a war, constant wars between the devas and the asuras, gods and the demons. The asuras always used to win the war. Why? With the guidance of their guru, who is Shukracharya. Shukracharya, as we have learnt in, as we know, in when we were discussing about Venus, Shukra, he has learnt the Mrita Sanjeevi power from none other than Lord Shiva, Mahayogi Shiva himself. That power of this Mrita Sanjeevani is it can resurrect the dead and bring back to life of this dead person. In this way, each asura who was killed in the war by Devas, in no time they were brought back to life because of this mantra. Thus, this ensured constant defeat of Devas. Whatever they do, whatever war tactics they are, these asuras, they are taking an upper hand, they are coming back to life. And that is where there was continuous trouble for the devas in the heavens, to put it in easy way. Once there was many times there was a great war between the asuras, demons, and devatas, gods. Devatas were defeated in the war, and they got fed up and they went to Lord Brahma to seek his help. What can you do for us? This is happening uh, all the time. We are fed up of this. Please help us in some way. Then Brahma sent them off with a suggestion. You churn the ocean. As a result, you will be able to obtain Amrit, the nectar, by drinking which you will also become immortals and all powerful, provided you get a few drops of it to consume. And then defeating the asuras will be very easy. This was the suggestion given by Lord Brahma to the devas. They have that mantra. These people must have the Amrita. Okay, so off they went, and churning the ocean will require so many things, so many accessories. Okay, when you want to drive a nail in the wall, you need a hammer, a nail, a wall. Okay, not in that order. A wall to drive the nail to drive, hammer with which to drive. See, these are accessories. So also, churning the ocean was a very big job. It was a it's not a joke. Ocean is a big water body. And so the devatas were thinking what to do. We alone cannot churn this ocean for nectar, amrita. So they went to the asuras themselves and asked for their help, because asuras have that strength. Probably they are all on steroids. I can say high energy. So the gods, they said, please come and help us. And Lord Indra went to heavens and sought for peace, and said that the devas and asuras should never wage war against each other. And then they were told that they need to churn the milky ocean and get the amrit, nectar, to consume. The asuras agreed. They said, okay, but asuras being asuras, what do they say? A criminal thinks of so many steps ahead. not to get caught. That is the reason why he is smart. He commits crimes. He commits any crime for that matter, because he is bold. He takes risks, and he sees to it that he doesn't get caught. That is that is the criminal mind. A very clever person also is often teased as, oh, he's a genius, he has a criminal mind. That is the word that we use for very very clever people. They can conjure up things, they can think of things ahead of other normal beings. Asuras were thinking, there is something in this. Okay, even if we help them in churning this Amrita, once the churning is over and Amrita is obtained in a pot, they may not give us, so we will steal the nectar, Amrit. That was their plan. And that is the reason why they agreed to this, uh, doing this, that is churning the ocean. So, you need accessories, like I said. So, the king of serpents, Vasuki, became the rope, offered to become the rope with which they can churn this side and this side, while a hill named Mandrachala became the pivot there, and the rope is tied, and then from each side they just begin churning. And there has to be a base. So Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, he became a tortoise. He took the form of a tortoise, becoming the base, and the churning process began. Devatas held the tail of Vasuki, while Asuras held the head of the Vasuki. Vasuki is a snake, don't forget, serpent. Various things began to come out of the ocean during this churning of the milk ocean. This ocean is particularly called as the Kshira Sagar. When churning happens, there is white foam coming out of it. Maybe that is the reason why it is called Kshira Sagar. Kshira means milk, Sagar is ocean. There was a pot of wish which came out, which created havoc in all the three worlds. Lord Shiva, to protect the three worlds, what he did, he took the pot of poison and drank, and didn't allow the poison to go below his neck. So there is another Puranic story that goddess Parvati, his consort, she stopped it, stopped the poison from entering the body. So Shiva's neck and face is got blue because of the poison. And therefore, that is one reason why Lord Shiva is also called Neelakanta, one with a blue neck. Neel means blue, Kanta means throat. So that is how Lord Shiva got that name, Neelakanta, Neelakantan, Neelakanta. Then, at last, Dhanavantri, that is another god, he came out with the pot of Amrit. And the joy knew no bounds for the gods as well as Asuras, and they, like somebody, offers to give free gifts, distribute free gifts, and there is a rush towards the person who is giving the gift. So that happened in this case also. There was a mad scramble for it to, be, taken, getting the opportunity to have a taste of the Amrit by both the Devas and the Asuras. Both scrambled. Seeing this, Lord Vishnu got a little bit worried. So he took the form of a beautiful woman who is also known as the Mohini. Mohini, the dream girl, Mohini. And as a beautiful woman, she offered her services to distribute the Amrit equally to both the Devas and the Asuras. And what happens is, since she is on God's side, she made both of them sit in two different rows, one for Devas and one for the Asuras. And she began serving the Amrit to the Devas first. So as she is serving, the Asuras, I think, were drunk in the beauty of this gorgeous woman and temporarily forgot about the Amrit. They were looking at the beauty, her grace, and the way she was serving and all that. And that's it. They lost track. They lost focus on the Amrit. That was actually the plan, grand plan by Mahavishnu, to dress like a beautiful lady and then take the form of a beautiful lady and distribute the Amrit. But one Asura called Swarabhanu saw through her trick. What he did, the Asuras have magical powers. He just changed his dress into that which the gods wore, similar to that, and he went and sat among the Devatas. Quietly he slid in and sat. And he sat near the sun and the moon in their row, and Mohini is distributing the Amrita, and sun and moon who have had their share. Swarabhanu also puts his hand out and the Amrita comes to his hand. He drinks. And the sun and the moon, they by the eyes, they alert Mohini that he is not God, he is not one of us. Immediately, Mahavishnu, he just regains his original Mahavishnu form, and with his chakra, he just sends the chakra to cut the Swarabhanu, and the chakra disc, it cuts the head. It separates the head and the body. Now, when the head is separated from the body, his son, Swarabhanu's son, he is in great distress that his father has been slain like this. So he says, please save my father somehow. Then Lord Brahma intervenes and he says, okay, you find us a snake and bring it to us. And the snake is brought. One big snake is brought. And the snake is also slashed, cut, and the body of the snake, the tail of the snake is attached to the head portion of Swarabhanu, and the head portion is attached to the body, torso of the Swarabhanu. So therefore they become two entities, separate. They are separated, even though they belong to one body, they got separated. And by this, what do you call it? Transplant, you can say. In those ancient times also there was probably. So the head with the snake's body, and here we have the snake head with the human body. That is Swarabhanu for you. Now, we have known in the first session that Rahu is also called the dragon head or northern node of the moon, and Ketu is called the southern node of the moon and dragon's tail because of this. Okay? So, what is next is we have 7 planets and 2 shadowy planets. Lord Brahma grants a wish to Surabhanu saying, don't feel bad about what happened to you. I will give you a position as 2 different shadowy planets in the scheme of Navagrahas, so that you are also very important to play your part in the destiny of humankind. They are very happy, they accept it, and they accept their new forms. That is the whole thing. They come to accept their new forms, and therefore Rahu and Ketu form part of the Navagrahas. Today is the 8th day, so we are going to go into some more features of the shadowy planet called Rahu. Rahu, how is he described? Even though I'm saying snake's body with Swarabhanu's head is Rahu, still he is described as a half-bodied, born of a lioness, snake-like, having a huge expansive body, and also is extraordinarily powerful. Rahu and Ketu, their power seems to increase, is believed to increase between sunset and sunrise. Not during the day, but after dusk, their power. So, what is this power? The power of vengeance is so strong that they also cause astronomical moment called the Rahu Kalam that stays every day during the day for 1.5 hours, 1 hour 30 minutes, each time slot on each day, different time slots. This Rahu Kalam, this 1.5 hours, is considered to be highly inauspicious for undertaking any performing of good deeds, auspicious events. But during this Rahu Kalam, it is suggested to as good for propitiating the Divine Mother. Divine Mother means maybe Goddess Durga. We have mentioned, we know now that 1.5 hours has come to be known as Rahu Kalam, each day of the week having different timings. Now we will learn something about that Rahu Kalam. Let me recite a few lines which I learned from my gentle, loving, beloved father, Shri Mani Iyer. He used to repeat this sentence and say, "This is the Rahu Kalam, sir. You can memorize what is Rahu Kalam for a particular day of the week by going through this verse." And he says, "Mother saw father wearing the turban." The first letter of these words in this verse are indicative of or represent each the name of the day of the week. Okay, and then the duration also is accordingly fixed. The 1.5 hours of Rahu Kalam is also fixed accordingly. Let me quickly tell you. M in mother is for Monday. S in saw is for Saturday. F in father is for Friday. W in Wednesday, in wearing is for Wednesday. TH, the, in the is for Thursday, TH. T, whereas in turban is for Tuesday. What is left is Sunday. Sunday comes last. Let us see the timing now according to this order. All Mondays, Rahu Kalam starts and ends from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. During daytime only all this is happening. All Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. All Fridays from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon. All Wednesdays from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. All Thursdays from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. All Tuesdays from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. when the Rahukal Puja is held for Ma Durga. All Sundays, what is left is 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. slot, which belongs to Sunday. This is the Rahu Kalam. This is how I always mentally come to know what is the Rahu Kalam for that day of the week. Rahu and Ketu have no specific zodiac signs allotted to them like the 7 planets. Although they are said to be in favor of Mercury, that is Buddha, and Jupiter, Guru's signs, zodiac signs, which is Gemini Mithun and Virgo Kanya for Buddha of Buddha's zodiacs, and here Sagittarius or Dhanus and Meena, Pisces of Jupiter's. They they are said to favor these 4 houses, any house. And always remember Rahu and Ketu, because it comes from the same body, is always at opposition, 180 degree apart, exactly 180 degree apart. If he is in the first sign, if Rahu is in the first sign, Ketu should and will be in the 7th sign and in the same degrees. So that is how we quickly see Rahu and Ketu. Okay. But some other authors in astrology, they say that Rahu favors Saturn's sign of Aquarius, Kumbha, and Ketu favors Mars sign of Scorpio, which is Vrishchika. So be it, they are interchangeable, we can interpret it as per the horoscope that we are seeing at that time. Rahu, the northern node of moon, what does Rahu mean? It means to conceal, engulf or hide in Sanskrit. He is the king of camouflage. He is a master at creating a smoke screen where others can never guess what's behind that smoke screen. Okay, since it's one body but getting separated, it is believed that Rahu, the head, is always said to look and long for something. He is searching. The head is always searching down for its body, which has already become Ketu. Therefore, his gaze is earthwardly, towards the earth. Earth, Bhumi means material things, the pleasures of living life. So, the material aspect of a human being is culled from Rahu. He is a material giver. And Ketu is always, he is headless. So his body is looking up towards when will my head and I join together, and he is looking up. Therefore, Ketu is symbolic and represents spirituality because he is always looking upward towards the Akasha, space, heavens. That way. These are some things in the Puranas which will be very helpful for us to know what each planet is speaking and where it is, and from where it is telling us what they are going to do to this human being. That understanding, these are fundamentals. There are many more details which can't be covered in one session. Therefore, Rahu is associated with the world of material manifestations and worldly desires. Rahu is a karaka or significator of worldly desire, fame, greed, high intelligence, manipulation, obsessive behavior, foreigners. They're also called mlecha in Sanskrit. Mass diseases, dementia, a planet of obsession, excesses. If he gives his all. There is no stopping him from giving, like he gives like crazy. But Rahu is a planet who is bent on teaching us life lessons. Therefore, he will give the human beings a lot of wealth or success, fame, positions. And after some time, as you are enjoying that and the power goes to your head, you will take away everything. You come back to the streets with nothing in your hands. We have seen people like that, having everything in life, and then suddenly they are nowhere. They don't have anything. Huh? Like jackpot winners, suddenly they get into big money. They don't know how to handle that big money. Coming from very weak, poor background, families or whatever. It doesn't help. They do not know how to handle money, handle fame, handle success, handle the wealth that they have. So they become targets for many people who want to be, I mean, they are all standing in the line to scheme how to get the money from this, overnight jackpot winner. Therefore, in no time, he is left with nothing that he wants. Relatives, friends, bankers, stock market, brokers, you name, they will all be standing in front of his door to take a portion away, to take the piece of the cake. So the downfall is imminent, and such is the character of Rahu that he gives a test. If that person is level headed and clever, wise, then he will utilize his wealth and money in a good way so that it lasts longer. But when it goes to his head, he doesn't know how to handle it. That's it, it's all gone. You can see these kinds of people in your life. If you know who Anil Ambani is, he is the younger brother of Mukesh Ambani, who is, is rolling in crores, billions. Whereas Anil Ambani was also given money at that time when they partitioned the property or wealth of their father. But what happened to Anil Ambani? It is all but gone. We do not know the other side of the story. You may, sometimes there are many stories coming up of the wealth being there, but it is not there. We don't get it. I don't want to get into the politics or details about where his money went and all that. Let it just suffice to say that once upon a time he had wealth. Now he doesn't have that wealth. Another name, Vijay Mallya, the kingfisher man, lived the life king size. Now living a different kind of life, far away from his homeland. I'm sure he is living an okay life, but not that life which he really enjoyed in India. Not many years ago, he was, and you have that man, the diamond person, Nirav Modi, I think. He also is the same. And there is one more story which is, it touches my heart every time. That is of the founder of the Raymond Group. Founder's name is Vijaypat Singhania. He was aging at that time. Now he's very old. So when he was about, he has had his success, he built a company. So he says one fine day, I'll write everything to my son. and retire, and he will look after me. That was his uh, way of, you know, parting with his wealth to one of his sons, with the belief that he will lead the life that he was leading at that time also. But what happened is, once Gautam Singhania, his son, got the wealth, he put his efforts and developed the Singhania group more and more. But far from, taking care of his father and mother, they had no home to live in their old age. Right now, they are living in a hotel as a long-staying guest, singing sad songs, and that reminds the the wealth they possessed, the life they led, and now what has happened to them. There is a very bitter court battle, um, you know, trying to reverse what he has done. Unthinkingly, he has gifted his son in the hope that the son will take care of him. But this is what has happened. Now, and also, I keep reading about big, big time film production companies, film producers, cinema producers who dreamt big, produced big budget movies. Once their movies flopped, failed, they sank without a trace. Big time, huge, expansive. That is how their dreams are, and that is what they face. And these are characteristics of Rahu. This is why I am telling all these real life stories. Now, Rahu and Ketu are two shadowy planets that we know. What we should know is also how they travel. You are driving a car. You are driving a car in the forward motion, direct motion, that is what we say. But Rahu and Ketu are entities who always drive in the reverse. There is no direct motion for them, only indirect or retrograde motion. That is what. Now I should also mention here, Sun and the Moon both are luminaries. Their motion is always direct forward motion. They never reverse. Whereas, what about the other 5 planets? Now, 4 of them have been mentioned here: Rahu, Ketu, Sun, and Moon. The other 5 planets, they usually travel in the forward motion, but sometimes they become stationary. Therefore, the Earth is moving. We feel like they are going retrograde or going backwards, reverse gearing. Therefore, we also call them Vakri or Vakra or retrograde of planets. Especially 5 planets I must name here is Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. All the 5 planets travel both ways, direct as well as reverse also they can travel or transit or whatever. Now we should mention a little bit about the professions Rahu of Rahu. Rahu is an airy planet related to air. He is very comfortable in Saturn's house of Kumbha, which is an airy sign. Therefore, the professions are also related to air, space, like working for airlines, pilots, stewards, working in some role in the airports, even running a coffee shop in the airport. Yes, Rahu must be predominant. In the technical line like aerospace, aerodynamics, engineering also. On the artistic side, photography, medical side, X-ray lab, MRI scan centers, cinema, making cinema. And in the world of cinema, we should mention that acting, makeup, what is not, they will make it into what, I mean, they, with the help of makeup, cosmetics, a human being can be transformed into something he is actually not. This is Rahu straight. Duplication of things, and then mimicry artists, partying hard with the stuff. I don't want to go into the meaning of what I mean by stuff. You have to understand. Party means hard, hard stuff. And also tobacco industry. I mean, cigarettes, cigars, anything which connects with smoking. Okay, stuff can also be smoked. All right. And what is the appearance that he likes, Rahul? Bling, loud, shiny clothes, big fancy accessories like big sized beads of varied colors. There is no match between the dress that they are wearing and the accessories that they are wearing. It can be one color and this the dress will be of a different color. Big size of anything. I mean, big sizes in checks. They are very fond of checks. In the the clothes that they wear, checked clothes. Like, if you remember, if the listeners are, they know what I mean. Madras checks was once upon a time very, very famous. Especially Erode and Tirupur, they used to make those garments, the shirts, big checked shirts. This is very, very characteristic of Rahu. Big checks. The bigger, the better. Okay, and loose fitting clothes. A tiny thin man wearing oversized clothes. That is Rahu. So these are the typical people of Rahu type of personality. The nature of Rahu is Vata or air sign, airy. Therefore, he is characteristic of expansive things in nature, big things in nature. The gemstone associated with Rahu is the honey-colored hessonite, also known as gomeda. Astrologers recommend wearing a gomeda in the right hand middle finger as a gemstone remedy to clear obstacles created by Rahu in a person's horoscope. The Skanda Purana says Rahu is instrumental in strengthening one's power and converting even an enemy into a friend. There is a lot of diplomatic things of Rahu. An enemy, he is ready to fight with a person. If the person has Rahu attributes, he will soon make that enemy into a friend. That is a quality, admirable quality. Instead of getting hurt, standing there and getting the beating and all that, he makes a friend out of that enemy and avoids hurting himself in the process. How clever of Rahu. Okay? And Rahu transits for 1.5 years in each zodiac sign. So Rahu takes 18 years to travel the complete cycle of 360 degrees in the 12 zodiac signs in a horoscope. About the health part, we should miss. If there is a disease or a pain or something wrong with the health of a person, he is in pain, he is in distress, physical distress. He goes to several doctors, but all the doctors, they are unable to diagnose correctly and treat that person. Such diseases are very much the Rahu type of diseases. And Rahu has a hand in such diseases. He'll camouflage the disease, he'll hide the disease. He won't reveal how many ever tests that you conduct, blood test, this test, MRI scan, X-ray, anything. But the actual ailment will never come, will never be visible to the doctor's eye. He can't diagnose it. There will be trouble in diagnosis of the disease. Hence, how will the treatment be successful for such undiagnosed diseases? Wrong treatment will end. Therefore, the pain will be more. Okay? And the ancient rishis have also attributed many diseases to Rahu, such as phobias, especially phobias when Rahu is placed in the same sign as moon. Moon the mind. Phobia is psychological part. Rahu will aggravate such tendencies like phobias and also stammering, chronic diseases related to virus, diseases related to virus, bacterial infections, bacteria, insect bites, which is nothing but poison. Insects have poison. So do snakes. So insects, snakes, bites, leprosy, tumors, abortions where bloodshed is there, and child deaths also Rahu, it is attributed to Rahu. Abortion means even before the child is born, it's gone. So also very young age children die. It's because attributed to Rahu in some way. We have to check the horoscope, not just like that, take the Rahu along with some other planets will be able to deliver the results like these, whatever is being mentioned here in this talk. Rahu is said to be a rank, malefic, shadowy planet and is therefore much, much feared. But there are good and bad in each and every planet, that we should not forget. Looking at malefic planets in just one way is not the correct way. Some learned have always felt that, so learned and wise rishis, they say if a human being gets to run his Rahu Mahadasha during their lifetime, first lifetime, because Rahu gives way beyond one's expectation of the material things of life like fame, name, success, wealth, anything. Remember, the Rahu Mahadasha, I think if it comes during youth or in the 30s to 50s, then that person will really get to enjoy the materialistic material things which he gets from Rahu during its dasha. Then only he can enjoy that. When one is on his deathbed and Rahu Mahadasha is running, what is the use of his running the Mahadasha of Rahu? Because he can't enjoy. He's frail in body and mind. He doesn't even know what's happening around him. Okay. So he's weak, he's frail, so he can't enjoy. So age during which success, excess, good fortune occurs also should matter in the person's life. We must have that physical and mental capacity and strength to enjoy such material comforts of life which planets, malefic planets like Rahu, Saturn, Ketu, they give bestow to us. So I conclude this talk by saying When we say these are malefic planets, we should not take it 100% as these are malefics and get into the fear mode. Not, never to do that kind of a thing. Each planet has its positives and negatives. We should be able to discern and learn how to interpret a planet in a horoscope. With this, I'll say bye bye for today. Let's meet tomorrow to discuss about the last and the ninth of the planets, Navagrahas. Thank you so much. Happy Navratri. May God bless us all. Thank you.